Hello, it's Joe, SirenLara, made you some tarot. Pull from Maji has the tea. Deck first. Chosen one, 144 Oracle. Oh, okay. I'll take those. Natural Reiki powers and spell work. Yeah. People always get a little scared with the healers. The ones with the healing hands. They're trying to stop you. Because they fear love, which is silly. Okay. Ancient Egyptian ancestors tapping in. So the channeling of the pyramid, the Sphinx. I always had a deep fascination for ancient Egypt when I was a kid. Divine protection and intervention. You have guides, ancestors that are assigned to you, that are old and powerful. Okay, Starseed. Alright. I had that come out in a reading earlier today already, is Starseed, so I'm glad it came out again. Highly ranked in the spiritual realm. Okay. Alright, so highly ranked in the spiritual realm, Starseed, divine protection and intervention, ancient Egyptian ancestors, spell work, and natural Reiki powers, those healing hands, but they're as old as time. Your soul is a lot older than you realize, friend. Almost as if it's interdimensional. Alright, we'll take that ancient Egyptian powers since it wants to come back out. Hey man, how are you? Ancient Egyptian powers. Let's see what else, if anything, we got in here. Thank you for liking the live, man. How have you been doing energy-wise? Like, the universe has been dragging me all week. Alright, sage your space. Dude, we all need good luck. I need huge miracles right now, personally. Because, yeah. We all do. Alright, sage your space. Time to clean up energetically. Smoke cleanse. Yeah. Smoke cleanse time. You can also energy cleanse by going around clapping, singing, dancing, humming. That raises the vibration of the space, and it's free. Okay. Shaman. So not being afraid to walk within the interdimensional realms. Like, shamans are typically shadow walkers because they walk between the spiritual realm and the human realm and the higher up realms. So shaman energy, but you gotta clean up. Success. Okay. Whatever you're doing, chip away at it. Okay. How do you take one? Like how do you take down a big obstacle one bite at a time? Like, yeah, if you look at the whole thing, you're like, I can't do all of that, but you know, if you one step at a time, one bite at a time, one fight at a time, if you have to. Atlantis. So, are you feeling called to the ocean? Do mermaids, sirens, Little Mermaid call to you? Because that's not out of place. Like, I know I was not originally from here, but I got pulled to Atlanta, and I'm like, that was not by mistake. That was an Atlantean life draw here. So when the ocean's calling you, listen. All right, Debbie, so we're doing collective energy. Let's see what comes out. If you identify with it, the water, Atlantis is for you, because that's what we were in when you came in and we're interacting. So you probably do feel calm with the ocean, or the other times, sometimes you're completely terrified of the ocean, and that's because you have Atlantean ties. So let's see. Being that that's like the only card that wanted to jump out and chat for a minute. Earth Angel Healer. So happy in knowing that, like, you're here to help the bigger purpose. Earth Angel, it's like, and you probably hear it all the time. People say you're such a blessing when you come around because you are meant to be an earth angel. And we pour and pour and pour, and sometimes it'll be like, well, we're not being reciprocal. No, that's because the divine's going to come back and take care of you. Like, sometimes you have to realize that your returns aren't coming from a human. It's like, almost like the divine will say, okay, no, because you did the work that I asked you to do, you're getting that dream house that you want. You're getting that car that you want, because while you helped everyone else when they need it the most, I'm going to help you just because I feel good to. So know that your good deeds are not going in vain, right? All right, so sage your space coming out again. So make sure that you are cleaning up, okay? Chaos likes dirt. Chaos likes noise. That's the other part. If you want abundance, if you want blessings, that's with calm, right? You have to keep a calm environment because noise scares good things away. Think of animals, like when you're outside watching something, if you get noisy and loud, those animals are going to scurry. So also with like abundance and blessings, you have to keep a calm environment, otherwise you will scare it away. Kind of like men sometimes. Move too fast, they run. Okay, you will regret messing with the chosen one. You can't play around with healers and earth angels. That comes with high consequences because we are here under divine guidance and divine assistance. So, all right, wake up. You've got a big path to cut. You have a big walk. You need to wake up, okay? It's time. Play a little drop suit if you have to. Wake up. Put on a don't. Why don't you put on a little makeup? Systems it down. Okay. Okay. Underestimated evil family members, twin flame mission. Okay. Whatever you're doing, you're not doing it alone. And your family members got in the way of that, and you were underestimated. But you need to wake up, realize what's going on. One of the things that, okay, my family used to work in a pizza kitchen all throughout high school. They did, and then various times throughout their adulthood. And one of my brother's high school teachers kept saying, he's like, wake up, Joiner, your pizzas are burning. So realizing, like, hey, life, sometimes you need to make sure that you're aware, otherwise you're going to ruin your work. Okay. We'll take those. All right. Trauma, and not only are you a miracle, one is on its way to you. You gotta let go of the trauma. Like, unpack it, as uncomfortable as it is, like, sit in the shit sometimes. And not only are you a miracle, not only did getting through that was a miracle, you're also having one come into you. Sometimes you have to recognize how powerful you are to what was sent to destroy you, and you're still standing today. And how a difference 5 years makes. Like, think of how, if something happened today, how would you have reacted to it 5 years ago? So realizing the growth within yourself, the patience that you've learned as you've gained experience, and also where you don't have patience now that you've gained experience. I found that a lot in the dating realm. It's like my patience tolerance level for men being not fun is like run thin. And I'm like, yeah, because I no longer will tolerate lukewarm offers or unsure men. Okay. All right, trauma and abundance. Talking about the trauma will unlock the abundance. Yeah, well, because you don't know who you're going to help with telling your story about what you made it through. You don't. And that's actually another point. You probably don't know how many people are still alive because you showed up on that day and they decided that it was worth going. So unpack your trauma because it leads to your abundance. I talk about that all the time, is taking your pain and alchemizing it into your purpose. And that's true spiritual gold there. Lavinia, how are you? true spiritual gold is when you take your pain and you alchemize it. You know, because like the big push right now is to turn lead into gold. That's what supposedly they're working on. The true power is taking your pain and alchemizing it into purpose. So whatever you went through, turning it into your song, turning it into your art, your podcast, or whatever. I am. That's all I can say, I guess. Evil family members. That's what I'm dealing with. Evil family members. When I can't say it, the cards will. That's how I am. Evil family members. All right, let's see if anything else. Where are you joining from today, my loves? Hi, girl. Yeah. I love your timing. That's perfect. Hello. Sit. Okay, very cool. I get a lot of New Yorkers somehow. Well, I get a lot of people from all over the place, but I mean, I've had people from New Zealand, I've had people from Australia, Hong Kong, New York. I've had a fair amount. How is the weather in New York right now? Deja vu, and you will regret messing with the chosen one. So you're having flashbacks of people messing with you, and they're gonna regret that. You probably told them, like, yeah, no, I get that. You probably told them, like, hey, I wouldn't do that. Like, I had to say that to someone this week. It was like, anybody that's ever messed with me has never gone on to do better. So, you know, I get that. And so natively I come from Arizona, so even where I am now, the heat is nothing compared to Arizona. So I get the way too hot though. And it's probably humid. It was pretty warm for us here today, yet the more, like the older I get, the further I am in my spiritual journey, the more I enjoy heat. Definitely not Arizona status heat, but I like it here. And I'm also ready for location change. Ancient Egyptian ancestors. Have the pyramids been calling you? Because I know they call me. They've been calling me since I was a kid. Like, I used to love learning about ancient Egypt and the pharaohs and the sphinxes. All right. Royalty. Yeah. Okay. Royalty. Your ancestors are calling you. And so somebody had said somewhere along their way, they're like, the chosen ones are the descendants. It's like the bloodline of Jesus. So if you ever feel like you're chosen, that maybe spiritual royalty that you're not realizing. You just need to remember, because all of this journey is never, like, it's not about learning or awakening. It's remembering our stories, what's encoded in our DNA, what past lives we've been in, and what we're here to do, and how to crack the code. I love my voice cracks going on, almost like I'm a teenage boy. All right, twin flame mission. Tired of that. All right, so royalty, twin flame mission. What did I get earlier? Starseed. I got Starseed earlier in a read, like, that I posted today, and I got Starseed out, like, in this deck too. So I think we might be changing decks though. Yeah. Okay, so anybody watch Gravity Falls? Because that's what I feel like. I feel like Gravity Falls with Dipper when he has the voice cracks, and you're like, oh, okay. So I've done a lot of. We're doing collective reads right now, so if you come in and the vibe is right and you like it, cool. If not, cool. Reading, like, personal readings are paid, and that's booking through my website or donating through my Cash App. Evil family members. So we have evil family members that are afoot, that are trying to foil us. That's okay. So people being evil, that's jealousy. And people get jealous of things that are non-tangible. They're not jealous of the car that you have or the house. They say they are, and they are to an extent, but they're really jealous of your work ethic. They're jealous of how people love you easily. They're jealous of how you just go with the flow. Like, people are never truly jealous of material possessions. It's always the qualities, this like the soft skills within you that you actually have to earn and learn versus being able to buy. So when people ever evil eye you, that's because they're jealous of they had the opportunity and they refused to do the work and or rise up. So when people get jealous of you, that's a them problem, and I would get as far away as possible. And the other part is it's like they are jealous of things that they refuse to do the work. That's the other, like, people will get mad at what you have and try to steal it, but they can't actually maintain the vibration. I'm going to pull into this. They try to steal it, but they didn't actually do the work to do it. So I'm going to use an example with this. I was talking to a business owner, and I kind of gave him some ideas about his business, and he goes, like, he picked a fight with me, ghosted me for like 6 months, came back, tried to apologize. Okay, first off, he was actually a contractor supposed to be doing work for me. So that's number one. Number two, in our travels together, I gave him ideas. So he went off and actually took those business plans that I had given him. And because he didn't actually give credit, he didn't actually ask me any more input, he just stole my ideas, stole my plans, actually had success on it, but then lost it because he lost his mind because he didn't know what to do with the success that he had. And it was just like, well, first off, that was your bad for stealing my plans and not actually consulting. But second off, like, you were trying to steal something that was never meant for you. He was trying to steal those ideas, those plans that was never meant for him. So, like, yeah, he got a quick bump off of it, but then he completely wrecks the car, which I knew was going to happen. There's another one that has that situation going on where she took my ideas and she was backed with it financially. She put money into it, but it was like, she's opening a food truck, but she can't actually cook. Like, that's a running joke. She's opening a food truck, yet she cannot actually cook worth a day. Like, even her dogs don't like her cooking. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, cool for using my business ideas, but that has disaster written all over it. What else? Okay, I know that was a rant. Alright, I'm going to switch decks. Let's see what else we got going on here. Alright, I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. We're doing kind of collective energy reads. If you're resonating, please comment, share, interact with me. Definitely tapping the like button. I love to go into other lives and just, like, tap, get, like, as many as I can in one tapping, because it helps push the algorithm out. It means that you're getting the message. There's an energy connection between us when you interact to sew in, which is greatly, greatly, greatly needed. Like, I'm about to lose my electric. I'm about to lose my internet. I'm about to lose my phone. Greatly need assistance there. Cash App, which is Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L, or booking to actually book a read, it's Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/Siren Song Lover. Like I say, I'm in great need of love, help, appreciation, readings, love and gaslight. And this is like that simp energy. It's like, oh yeah, I love you, girl, but then not actually showing up to support, not actually booking. So land back. We're getting it back though. And people will gaslight you when you're right on. They'll be like, oh no, I couldn't possibly. No. So you're starting to get it back. You're getting it back. We're getting it back. We're like, no. Seeing through the lies. Again, the tolerance, you start clocking things faster. You're like, my tolerance for that is about this big. You have about one. A lot of times in dating, I'm like, you have about one red flag, and I'm out. Like, you breathe too heavy, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can do bad all by my own. I'll just go. I'll just go. Alright. Vampire. Yeah. They're trying to siphon off your energy. Here is the tea, guys. Demons can't create. They have no imagination. Right? They're just there to feed. So, and by demons, meaning like our vices, our addictions, the people that we're around. Sometimes demons are like, or vampires, that's like when you're scrolling and you do the time, like the doom scroll. That's a vampire. It's like, if you've been doom scrolling for 5 hours and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, where'd my day go? Well, okay, you gaslit yourself out of some precious time that you had. So start cutting off the vampires that are sucking you dry. Again, if it's simp men, you can say simp men are sucking you dry, and you say, hey Crystal, how are you? Triggered. We're triggering people. We're meant to. I love when people pick a fight with me, and I'm like, hey, that anger is an indicator of where you need to be looking in the mirror, my friend. So triggering is a blessing. Okay, so I know 2016 an election, and then 2020 with the shutdown, I know it put us all into a lot of environments where we realized what was actually robbing of us of our happiness. Like, I know it was very scary and divisive times, but I think a lot of us, it's like how you started having the silent quitting phenomena is like, yeah, because we realized after going through all of this stress and turmoil in a very short amount of time, we were no longer going to work in a job that was sucking our soul dry, right? And that's what corporations are, corpses, right? Yep. Thank you, Crystal, because I was saying that yesterday, like, to myself, right? I was like, if I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have done all that stuff. But then it's that saying, as hindsight is 2020. You are 1,000 times correct. I also believe that universe had to put us in a timeout so that we could look around at people, because I've been running since I was a kid, like, just energetically, just constant. And 2020 made me really look at the environment I was in, the people, yeah. And that's why I say I think universe put us all in a timeout, because we had to do a big transition, short, fast, and sweet. Like, we all had to wake up because we all had to come on board really fast. The divorces, my divorce lawyer, because we got a divorce after 2020, right? Just another number, right? It is realignment. It's very painful, though. It is very painful. Also, though, it's like the truth will piss you off, and then it'll set you free. So, yeah, it made us all mad, but then we don't actually do anything until we get mad enough. And that's also a huge manifestation point, is what you manifest the most powerfully when you're angry. If you are, that's why they make the joke, like, when you're so mad you can carry the whole fridge in by yourself, and you're like, no, I got it. Yeah, me as well. And I had I had a double whammy 3 years in a row, back to back, and now that I know more, I realize what it all was. It was total energy harvesting. But my father passed in Oh, that was not cool. My father passed in 18. I broke my left elbow in 19, and then I broke my right hand in 20. And I had been working since the age of 13, like, in a job, like in a restaurant, and then, like, I've worked my whole life. Like, I was a working child. If anybody knows, they know. So when my father died, and then in 19, when I broke my elbow and I couldn't work because I worked with my hands, it made me kind of start getting dissatisfied and asking, with life, and asking more questions. I also think 2020 was a great time for people to invest in their hobbies. Like, oh, we couldn't go out, we couldn't do this, so that was time for us to learn reading again, or learning how to play our instruments, or picking up new things. So it was a good thing. It just has come with a lot of scars and pain, and I'm still hopeful that it'll all work out, and I know it will. So I don't know about you, Crystal. I can see, like, bigger picture, like, what's happening within the next few years, what's happening kind of behind that. So everybody's over here asking about, yeah. Well, okay, so our souls signed on board because we knew that this was going to be a pivotal time. I don't know about you personally. Me personally, like, I'm always the employee that takes on the extra credit. I was always, so of course my soul would be the one that would be like, okay, you're taking the impossible mission because we know you can handle it, and you've been training for this your whole existence and XYZ, but good God, To be blunt, I'm very tired of getting kicked in the tits by the universe. And I know that that's, kind of adultish, yet I know. Well, and there are days that I am so happy that there are days, when you give yourself a spiritual Easter egg and you're like, God damn, I'm so clever. But then there are days you're like, why did I sign up for this? Why would I do that to myself? Yeah, I'm exhausted too. I don't know if you heard the part where I'm about to lose my home. My electric's about to get turned off. My phone's about to get turned off. My internet's about to get turned off. So that part, I'm exhausted. And I have whole groups of people working against me. And my channel, right? This is my one way to try and make money, because after high amounts of stress, thank you. After high amounts of stress and everything, trying to be among normal society is darn near impossible. Okay, so hello, Angel Kitty 777. I have Mr. Abel sitting here, so name's appropriate. 7 is the number for heaven because it is the options, our choices. 7 is what we choose. That's what we get. All right? Make sure you're making healthy choices and good choices. Yeah. Oh, okay. Red flag and troll. So watch out. So I don't know about you, Crystal. The red flags and the trolls, we get to the point, or I try to get to the point where it's you see them a lot faster. Oh, okay. So on a spiritual level, red flags and trolls. I had a situation yesterday where this woman showed up. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to talk about this. I had a situation yesterday where I had 3 entities. I'm going to call them entities because, yes, they were in human bodies, but I have a lot of entities and demons and shit just coming through my property, right? I live on very, active land. And out of all of the places I toured, this was the least scary. And it's still hella active. That being said, though, when they showed up yesterday, they came in a pair, the first one. And he went and he did things like he was poking under the house without making an introduction, which upset me because I'm like, you have to consensually, you have to, I know, yes, you're called out here, but you have to actually, make an introduction, all that jazz. And then she pulled up. And she comes off as trying to portray herself as being an upper class woman and fancy, but I could smell her soul. And she had the nastiest, cheapest, that, that perfume that you're oof. I mean, she didn't smell awful, but her makeup was I was just you have a whole mask of makeup on and one good sweat and you're going to not. And then the last guy that came on after it, my dog was mad. Well, and Crystal, that's also why I tell people, I'm if you could see people's souls, if you knew what they were hiding under that meat puppet suit, you would not let them touch your body. I've become so, in the last 2 years, I've become pretty well celibate. I've definitely taken myself out of the dating pool. And people are here hooking up. And I was like, no, that's how you get spiritually transmitted demons. And also, have you heard the numbers in the communities recently? It's very scary. The HIV is going around. North Carolina or South Carolina had 47,000 cases. There was another state, I think they had 18,000 cases recently reported. There was another number, it was 200 and something thousand. I was yeah, no, you know what? People are out here doing horrible things. We got to see the red flags and the trolls. I know. Okay, so that's the challenge also. Because the person that I want to be with, right? I know how long I'm gonna live. That's what it makes right now so frustrating, because I know how long I'm gonna live and it's getting really challenging around here. And I'm no, girl, you got a long time. Yeah, I don't want to be with another person that I'm going to have to say goodbye to. So whoever I commit to, it has to be like it's a long-term contract. And I worked really hard to get to this point. Yeah. Well, okay, Crystal, I'm going to say it like this. First off, we are gifts in hands as we go. Second off, yeah, you get hurt because so as seers, right? Because I identify. And here's the other part, and one of my best friends said this, because, well, you intentionally miss the red flags because you want to see the potential. And I know I pushed that out there really hard, but let's talk about it for a second. You miss the red flags because you see them based on potential, and here's what I've also started saying to people. I'm like, don't see people on potential, see them on what they present as and move accordingly. Because then they have to raise their vibration to meet you. One of the things, and I do Akashics as well. Yep. So baby, it's like really becoming discerning. Like, don't put up with it kind of thing. So one of the things that my best friend said, because we had known each other 33 years before I finally saw through her bad side too, right? She said, the worst thing about you is that you see the best in everyone. I was like, I see the best and the worst in everyone, and I decide to give them the benefit of the doubt. Them proving me stupid, that was their mistake, because I accepted them with what they presented, and then they proved me why I should have listened in the first place. So it really is becoming discerning and saying, you know what, the second you see a red flag, be like, I gotta go. And I started having to do that with girlfriends too, where I was like, if we're gonna disagree over this tiny little thing, especially because I'd been heavy in the betrayals of it, right? Crystal, I know you can identify probably with the family betrayals that come with spiritual awakening and stepping in your divinity and walking the path. And at that point, I was like, if we disagree, yep, I get it, babes. And that's how we find each other too, is because we are alone and then we find each other. So I had to do it with friends. I'm like, if we can't agree on the teeny little things, I know you're going to turn and stab me in the back on the big things. So I'm going to close the door. And people say, oh, well, that's so petty. Nope. No. If somebody's dying on this hill today, it's not me. Like, if you have to, no, I will remove myself peacefully. Because, no. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I barely tolerate people. I'm like, I don't know. I'm baffled by individuals that can fake whole relationships, because I can't even fake a smile and a hello to someone I don't like. Like, honest. I see or am around someone I don't like I'm like, I will be courteous to you. I do too. I used to run the street I used to be in action all the time because I hated being at home. During childhood, hated being at home. During marriage, I would spend anywhere to not be at home, especially when certain people were home. Yes, thank you. Same. My face has no chill. Like, if I do not like you, there's no hiding that. When people say you looked mean when I first met you, I'm like, then why did you approach me? Why? Please. You could have saved us all a lot of trouble. It's like men that try to shoot their shot, and I'm like, you could have saved us all a lot of trouble by not, because I was never going to be interested. Okay, red flags. The red flags are not the bull waving. Okay, we see red flags, we say, yeah, no. Go argue with someone else. Go play with someone else's heart. It's not me. If you had, okay, Crystal, okay, I'm a music person, right? So, 2 music references I'm going to throw out here. Like, I love to play Elvis, Return to Sender. If I feel a lot of heavy eye, evil eye coming towards me, I'll be like, Return to Sender. And then, It Ain't Me, Babe, by Johnny Cash. Like, when people try to play in my face, I'm like, no, I'm going to play It Ain't Me, Babe, because you can go make someone else cry. It ain't me. Not today. Not today, Satan. I know my ex-husband used to cuss really hard when my feet hit the floor in the morning. And I was like, yep, no, proof that the devil actually does cuss when my feet hit the floor. Alright. I know my vibe is slightly off today, guys. It's been truly a heartbreaking, disheartening week. And then I had some more bad news, and then some more bad news, and then I had to stare at my ex-husband and his ugly new wife today, and I'm not happy about that, because screw that guy. Am I still angry? Yes. Do I have every right to be? Yes. Will I ever get over it? I'm sure. Actually, you know what? I was talking to a lady on the way out to the parking lot, and she's like, you know, she's someone else's problem, or, you know, he's someone else's problem. I'm like, thank God. I saw what a train wreck that was and finally left. Thank you. I need peace, financial blessings, and definitely, like, protection. Like, if you can we'll send that actually both ways, is sending the financial abundance both ways, because I am greatly in need, and I know the whole freaking collective is just like, that's the other part. Like, the position I'm facing, we are all very close to facing that. Anybody hear that Walmart is raising their prices because of the tariffs? And, you know, electric plant, you know, like, that's a part of it. Yeah. I don't know. So it's not even so much that, I mean, like, yes, I need the money. It's yes, I need financial blessings more than anything in this world. Like, I'm trying to sign up for something right now, and it's $4.99. I was like, I can't even pay the $4.99 to sign up for this thing. Yeah, I get it. It's sending, like, just the energy intention, even. That's why I said if we send it both ways, is sending the financial blessings to each other, is sending the energy of abundance and the intention of abundance, is where I was going with that. Oh, thank you. I sent some as well. That's what I was doing. I was doing some Reiki hands while I was sitting there talking about it. I hardly ever shut my mouth, if you can't tell. That's also why I don't spend a lot of time around other people, because I'm like, that's that part of it. Yeah. I think, like, my daughter thinks I exaggerate shit. But it's just, I'm always on. Like, I am always on. And when I'm not on, so let's actually talk about this. When I'm not on, there are people, like, within my life, within my collective. Like, I had this example with my ex-boyfriend. I was sleeping. I was, like, napping midday because of the stress levels. And I was exhausted. And he was like, I had this moment where he's like, for like a straight hour and a half, I was driving and I just felt so depressed. And I was like, oh, that's because I put myself down into power save mode. I was like, so I am on all the time, but when I crash, I do crash. The people closest to me feel it. It's kind of annoying though, because I've had people that will hurt themselves and I get hurt too. And I'm like, that's not cool, man. I actually got really mad at my ex-boyfriend because he intentionally, like, smashed his head. I was like, you can't do that, because when you do it, I end up doing it, and then I ended up smashing my head. And so we walked into court. There's a whole bunch of, no, that's why when I went to that thing today, I was so pissy, because I was hoping maybe he wouldn't show up. And then, like I say, like, his wife was there, and his stepdaughter. Yeah, no, they do all the time. Which is super annoying, because it's like, oh, you hate me, but why are you siphoning off my energy? Why can I feel you lurking all the time? Why can I XYZ? Like, they're not smooth. They're not, none of that. So have you had clear audience? Have you heard them actually say something before? Because that's always a fun thing when people that you share that connection with. I've had people, like, cuss me out, and I was like, I can feel that. I think that was also probably, okay, Yeah. And people were like, how do you know how I feel about you? I'm like, no. I heard what you said when you didn't think anyone can hear because my ancestors relayed that. I think also, like, I woke up really early this morning and I was, yes, have you astro traveled with someone else before? I've had that experience where we'll have conscious astral travel. I'll be like, oh shit. I was super angry this morning, and I'm not entirely sure that was my anger. I mean, I know I said earlier about okay, I'll tell you about that in one moment. Let me go to this. So I woke up really angry really early this morning. I was screaming my freaking throat out because I was so angry. Like, and I don't love that, but I have had, especially in the last few days, like bouts of just sheer rage and anger and just screaming. And I do not love that, yet and I'm like, I don't know if this is mine or if this is someone else's, because I'm doing it, but this feels like it comes from an outside source. Okay, so astral traveling, I've done it a few times with a few different people where we'll be doing an activity. Like, one was and actually one of the other girls, she had never experienced it, but she explained it as like a open vision where this dude, because yes. Do you have whole groups yet that send you a bunch of stuff? Have you had the Sleeping Beauty sent to you? I'm not trying to endorse that. Okay, so you know. Like, I know, like, around the full moon, I'm like, I am so freaking exhausted, and I'll be up till all hours of the night. I'm like, that's because I know there's a bunch of people dressing up and doing things under the moon, and I'm like, what is actually wrong with you? Do you realize that cosplay isn't actually having any effect on me other than making us all tired? Because I'm about to start sending people back, if that Return to Sender is really truly, like, if they keep sending me bad people, if I send one back, will they stop? Because that's the point we're coming at, spiritually. Anyway, okay, so open travel. I'm a huge sound girl, right? Like, I'm a huge drummer, spiritual, or, like, medicine drum, but I'm a huge drummer, and I used to go to drum circles. I know. Well, it's the intent that gets them every time. That's what God measures on, or the divine. I say God, but they can't even take it. I say this all the time. I've been saying that for years. I've been texting it to my ex. I've been texting it to my kids. I've been texting it to whoever, is that you can even take a teaspoon of that whole gallon you waterboarded me with. Yet you can't even take a teaspoon without tapping out. Like, you were so confident standing 10 toes down sending it to me, yet now you're scared? See, they don't even come crying back to me now because I'm like, you owe me. They will. But I'm like, you're going to come back and you're going to apologize to me, and that apology has to be louder than the disrespect and financial. Like, you are going to be held accountable because you made my account less full. And I take that personally. Actually, my ancestors take that personally. Because, dreams, yes, but I'm talking about, like, I'm ready for them to actually come knocking on my door. And because I know things are flying off the shelves in their house. And I know that my ancestors are on them in the middle of the night. And I was like, you should never have picked a fight with me. Ever. Because I didn't do anything to you. I was over here minding my business, and you decided you wanted to have fun with me. And that's... I warned them time and time again, and I just let them. Okay, so open travel. I know I'm going to go back to it. I got sidetracked again. So, this dude had never drummed. We were at a drumming circle, like an impromptu one. He had never drummed before. He's like, oh, I've never drummed. I don't know. But I just put a drum in his hand, and he was sitting there drumming, and I was drumming too, but there was a point where it was like, I could feel it, and it was like, he and I were actually in Africa, sitting with, like, a tribe leader, talking, drumming, and that was kind of a cool experience. And then one of my ex-boyfriends, or my ex-boyfriend, I guess, I don't know how to describe him, we were here, I think that they take that as, like, don't push me, or like they take it as a challenge, and it's like no. And okay, so I'll go back to that in a second. So another one I'll talk about. We were in a different state with my ex-boyfriend, and I actually, like, he and I were embracing out in front of a crystal shop, and yeah, like there was a bourbon street type place next to us, and we're not in Louisiana, but there was like I don't know how to describe it, kind of place. And he and I were standing there embracing, and I'm like, oh, we got pulled into like 1950s New Orleans. And that was a past life for me, was 1950s New Orleans. So it was kind of a cool experience that he and I were just standing there embracing, and I literally felt us pull back into that timeline. Not that he was that person, but it was a cool little thing. I've taken it, like, I've actually helped a guy astral travel to Hawaii. That was a fun experience, I know that guy's life changed, but yeah. Okay, so Crystal, I warn people all the freaking time, don't play in my face, because I've got I'm older, right? I've got a long track record of what happens to people that mess with me. Like, long term, I've seen their success about how they thought they won over on me. So that's that part of it, is people try to bait and switch or pull a fast one. I was like, no, you don't understand. And this isn't fear mongering, this is just education. And if you guys can if you're in, please tap the like. Get that rhythm going up, please. It greatly helps. I appreciate. And that encouraged me to kind of stay in. Yeah. So I get that. Yeah. No. They think they're getting somewhere. I don't either. I don't. That's just our calling, babe. I know you didn't do black magic. I know that family has probably done black magic on you, but you didn't do it. Yeah. No, he did it. And that's not a you thing. Like I say, I do have time and time again, though, where people have done me dirty, or they thought they did me dirty, and I end up having the last laugh. And I was like, I warned you guys not to do that. Here's where I was going with that, though, is since my gifts have been opening harder, the people that come against me have a faster reaction time to get their karma. And also, people are getting locked up, and people are going home in pine boxes for messing with me. And that's not because I did anything to them. That's because they fucked around. Like, to fuck around is human, to find out is divine. And I've told them for years, and they've just gotten harder in their attacks. I go, if you do not stop, you may lose everything, including and that's not me doing that. That's my ancestors saying, hey, you have been warned time and time and time and time again. And apparently the only way for you to learn is to either be incarcerated, either spiritually or physically, for a very long time. And like I say, people always think that I'm just talking a big game. I was like, no, I have, in the last year alone, my family has sacrificed 3 women to try and work on court proceedings and to steal my destiny, steal my shit, and off me. I go, you guys can't do submission on me because you do not have dominion over me. I do not grant that consent, nor will I ever. So again, 3 women, 3 mothers who have lost their lives because my family couldn't keep their hands clean and use them as sacrifices in court cases. Like, the dates of their passings and the date of court all align in all weird circumstances and all centered around my family, and I'm not anywhere near them. Like, my family, yep. So my family that I grew up in, I moved away from that state 4 years ago. And for the last 2 years, I've been no contact with my ex, minus minimal for our children. So when bodies start turning up, and again, they're all together and I'm not anywhere to be found, like, they keep using me as the problem, and that's the other part. They keep using me as the problem, yet I removed myself years ago, and they still have problems. No, they're just trying to energy harvest. I get that, Crystal. Like, my family has been trying to get me since I was young. And there are some people that I've known, like, now I look at, you came in at 14, which was a weird time in my life. And that's when also a lot of curses or misfortunes started happening to me. So it's not coincidental. Like, the pattern recognition starts pattern recognizing, and you're like, yeah, no, yeah. So, I get that. Okay, so this is another part of why I hate that I'm losing my home. First off, I have 7 animals. I have an animal sanctuary, right? I rehabilitate, I take in all the problem animals. I've given them safety. Second off, I'm about to be 43. And up until 2 years ago, I had never not lived with an abusive family. Like, this was my sanctuary, this was my place to heal, this was my home, it was supposed to be, like, where I didn't have to worry about getting kicked out. I'm done playing in some of my ancestors too, but I don't know how big a group you're working against. I know how big mine is, and I'm just really fucking tired. I'm just really tired, and I'm not meaning to be a crybaby, and I know I'm gonna be okay. I'm just really fucking tired. And I'm really tired of feeling powerless. Because that's really what I feel right now, is powerless. Because no matter what I do. Like, okay, so, like, this is something I was thinking about today. Like, for the last 2 years, I've been trying to become completely self-reliant, and yet I have a group of a bunch of people working against me, and they're on my socials, and they're helping to suppress me, and they're helping to make my life harder. It's like, this is my one way of making money now, is online, and they do everything to mess it up. So, like, the whole financial shit, like, I've been trying and working really fucking hard, only to get put worse behind. I'm gonna add, like, this is the other part. My ex is moving into a brand new home. That career that he's in, I built it. I was the one home taking care of the kids. I was the one home keeping it together. I was the one that moved us across the country for his career progression. He and his new wife have matching Mercedes, and they're moving into a brand new home. Well, I'm getting tossed out on my ear. I'm about to have everything turned off. And again, and this is the other part of it, like, I've gone to lawyers, I've gone to the FBI, I've gone to the police, I've gone to the news stations, I've gone to the United Nations to try and get help in all of this, and none of it ever stops. Like, they reroute my mail, they reroute my email, they reroute my calls, my texts, they've made CPS cases on me, they've had the police profiling me. I know, but that's the problem, is that because they don't do shit, I'm still sitting here years later in this disgusting mess because no one actually gives a shit. I know I just said a lot. Like, I've been carrying a lot. Yes. That's the other part of it. Like, and how did they get and it's all judges' hands. Like, our child custody case, that was the other part. Like, he bought the judge, he bought the lawyers because he works for a big company that wants to make sure they protect their asset. Yeah. I have to move. I have no money. I have no, like, where to go. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. I have no one to help me move. And I know you're a single mom of 4, so I shouldn't be complaining. I worked really hard, only to get... Yeah. I'm sorry, baby. We'll pray to keep you not... Okay, so Crystal, here's the part. Like, my record has always been squeaky clean, right? I know almost 2 weeks ago, on Monday it'll be 2 weeks, I had an officer try to put me in a setup. And I was just like, and that's not the first time I've had an officer try to put me in a setup illegally at that. And, yeah. See, okay, and here's what upsets me. I'm going to talk about this because this is something my daughter and I talk about. Because, like, addicts aren't addicts because they wanted to be. And we aren't, like, doing those things, right? Like, homelessness, right? Homeless people don't want to be fucking homeless. That's not like we grew up and we want to be like, oh, I want to be an addict or I want to be homeless. And yet everybody looks at them like, oh, so awful. Not realizing that just one tiny thing can make everything turn out differently. It's like the whole jail thing. Like you say with the warrant out for your arrest, you didn't probably do anything, yet because someone felt some way and made a report or whatever, now your whole life's on hold. And that's the stupidest shit. Like, because people feel some sort of way. It's like, you don't know me. Like, I don't know about for you, Crystal. Like, I've gone through such a metamorphosis in the last freaking 4 years that when people try to, like, accuse me of something, I'm like, I'm not that woman. Ow. Yes. Just, like, for me as well, Crystal, my father was an alcoholic. My ex was an alcoholic. I struggled with alcohol for 27 years. Wow, the couch just got really full. Because now we have 3 cats, a dog, and 1 cat was under me. I'm sorry you lost your mama, baby, and I'm glad that you chose sobriety. Because nobody realizes how hard sobriety is. Like, being the generational curse breaker. Because, like I say, for me, my father was an alcoholic, my ex was an alcoholic, I had my own problems with alcohol, and people downplay that, or they say, like, oh, that's not that big a deal. I'm like, then you do it. And actually, I don't know about you, because they like to use my addiction as scapegoating, right? They like to say, like, oh, well, you're such a alcoholic. Really? So when you actually give up the habit, then they'll scapegoat you, and because they wanted to be able to pin it on you. That's the other part that I freaking hate. Like, one of my friends, well, former friends, she used to always, like, blame shit on her daughter. It was like, you take accountability for where you're messing up. Like, your daughter, no. Like, and the other part with, like, family beef, it's like your daughter, like, grown children, right? Like, my mom hated that I was no contact with her grown. Yet, my mother always allowed my predatory brothers. Yeah. I never felt safe around my brothers or my mother or my father because my family, all of them, participated in abusing me, and no one stood up for me. So I never trusted eating bubbles, I never trusted my mother because she allowed my brother, my father, my uncles, the neighbors, anyone a free pass to violate me. So, and then she said, well, I was unconditional and I loved you and blah, blah, blah. No, man, you don't allow that to happen to someone that you love, and you definitely don't withhold medical treatment for them. Because that was the other part, is that she knew what was going on, and she definitely didn't ever help me. That was one of the things, like, my mother loved to say, oh, you had 5 adults to choose from to ask for help. I'm like, I had 5 adults that when I was a little girl that I had to ask for help, everybody would say no to whatever I needed, and then I would be stuck trying to figure out how to meet my basic needs as a little girl by myself when I had 5 guardians, caretakers. So, alright. I might be hopping out pretty soon. It's been a very emotional read for me today. I'm beyond stressed out, seeing Satan today because I haven't seen him since last August. Yep. Well, and that's... Okay, Crystal... Okay, Alcatraz. You didn't grow up in Arizona, did you? And yes, That's the other part. I don't think people get, because I'm going to guess you're probably right around my age range. Not to age you. Okay. I'm going to guess we're probably in around the same age range. Yes, the millennial kids, we had to parent our parents. People want to know why we gentle parent our kids, because we had to parent our parents. Our kids are like our second set of kids. Or if you're like me, like this was me, right? I had to parent my kids, like be a servant. And then when I was 15, I was handed 3 little kids ranging from 6 to 6 weeks old at 15 to take care of. And then I had my first kid at 19, put myself through x-ray school. Like, becoming a single mom at 19 wasn't a shock to me because I had been parenting my parents since I was little. And then, like I say, giving kids at 15 to help raise and take care of. And then it's just like, we learned how to parent differently because, yes, we did have to raise our parents before we were ever given babies. And I don't know why. Yeah, I get it, baby. Okay, so you kind of remind me of one of my former friends, Crystal, who I have a matching tattoo with, but she spelled, and I dropped off with everyone. But she was known as, she was named Crystal because her mom liked Crystal. One of her sisters was named Shania. So yeah. And people don't get what you miss as a young mom, or, like, people don't understand. It's like, even with my daughters because one of my children is grown, and then my other 2 are younger. It's like, I didn't have a normal high school experience. I didn't have a normal college experience. I was a single mom putting myself through x-ray school without the help of his father, making it through. Everybody else was out having a fun time while I was busy hitting the books and working my butt off. Okay, privilege, influencer, narcissist. That's why remember how I said earlier, demons have no imagination, so they have to, like, love bomb themselves. Like, this is like, they want to be Delulu till it's Trelulu, but they try to energy siphon off of you. Like, toxic people don't pick losers. Like, let's just be honest about that. I'm not trying to be offensive by saying loser, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people always say, like, oh, it must be worse, if they, they don't pick bad people. They pick the people that are truly full of light, that it is a privilege to be around, and then they downgrade them. Feral and tinfoil hat. So I need you to embrace, like, nope, yes they do. And that's the other part I'm going to talk about for a minute, tinfoil hat. So why they have no true power, though, is because they don't have imagination. Like, they don't have the power of creation. So, like, I've gotten in this debate hot and heavy with a bunch of people. Like, people that like to conjure. And I know I started off, hopefully you heard the part where I was talking about alchemy. Like, the true alchemization is being able to turn something of trash into treasure, right? They've been trying to do it since the beginning of time because gold is a resource, but they've been trying to turn lead into gold because that's the alchemization, or the philosopher's stone, right? Like, once you can turn something into gold, because that's interdimensional currency. If you must know why they're here, why they're trying, like, why the ETs are interested, because interdimensional currency is gold. They need gold. So the philosopher's stone, nice. And I'm an alchemist, so I'm gonna get there. That may actually tie in bigger. Let's think about it. Because the Masons and the stars, they don't have the power of alchemy. They have to conjure, right? They have to call upon another source to do the work for them. So that's why they have no true power. Because A, they don't believe in what they're doing. B, when we conjure, like, that spirit gets mad. That's why when people always say, oh, is my friend here? Or my grandma. I was like, you know what? We don't, if they come through naturally, like, if it's aligned and they want to, Kayla, Some of us are the walking embodiment of Christ. So before you come in and say something like that, you might want to check yourself. Some of us actually are the embodiment of Christ, and you're not being of benefit, you're trolling. And it's not cool. Okay. It is ignorance, but it's more than that. It's painful. And I had to get into a debate because I was in a Reiki group. I know I'm all over the place. Like, we'll just say that that's, thank you, eating bubbles. Thank you. I know, like, ADHD brain. Christ is a crystalline structure. As you go through ascension, as you leave behind layers of yourself, your ego, you ascend in your crystalline structure. That's all that is. Your consciousness, that means you're at a higher vibration. So, hopefully all of that makes sense. And Crystal, no block. I don't deal with that. Block. Anybody that ruins my day, block. I don't even care who it is. I start blocking, like, those closest to me. And, like, you know what? I don't like your vibe today. There will be an unblock fee because you pissed me off. You wasted my time. Okay, well, stay in your lane. I was just about to say that. Stay in your lane. That's like, okay, I called somebody out. I know we need to come back. What do I need to come back and talk about? Because I feel like I need to come back and talk about something. I'm going to say about this. Stay in your own lane. Because I was saying something yesterday. Because I don't know about you. Like, I just say shit and then people get scared because how did I know that? So yesterday I said something about my daughter's love interest, which isn't really true, but her love interest. She's like, Mom, let me tell you. And she was like telling me the tea. And I was like, you would be a lot further in life if you had your nose in your, like, if you invest as much energy in your business as you did in everybody else's, you'd be a lot farther. Because she likes to be in everybody else's lane. I was like, if you actually stayed in your lane, you would be a lot farther. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, and what about Jose? And she's like, oh, well, I think he has a girlfriend. And I'm like, and what about someone? I was like, oh, I talked to her yesterday. I was like, exactly. You're too busy catching up on what everybody else is doing that you don't see what you're doing. And then wonder why you can't get on. Like, stay in your lane. There's a lot less traffic there, right? I don't know about you. I know. I have people in my lane all the time. And I'm tired of it. Like, no, my ancestors, that's probably actually why I was up screaming my lungs out. I was mad. Okay, and rage is our mother wound around creation. How, like, we don't feel accepted with our mother accepting, like, our creation, our art, our alchemy. I think that's where I was going to go back, maybe, was that Crystal is taking the emotional pain and turning it into purpose. So that's what we've been called to do, and that is actually the spiritual gold. It's not turning it, I mean, yes, turning lead into gold is of value, but if you can start, like, that's the currency, is when you start taking it and turning it into gold, because you're like, I'm going to take that story, I'm going to turn it into a book. I'm going to take that story, I'm going to turn it into a podcast. I'm going to take that story, I'm going to turn it into a foundation for other women that are trying to escape abuse. I'm going to take it and turn it into, that's the alchemization is taking it. Okay, also where I was going to go back to conjuring, where people are conjuring, it's like, okay, first off, they call up that entity, they don't pay the correct toll for that entity. They don't have respect for it, because I always tell people, I'm like, if you haven't been, yep, and I get that too, eating bubbles. So have you done your human design eating bubbles? Because what I've learned, I'm just like a receiver for people and then spit it back out. So, okay, so when you do human design and you start looking at some of that too, and you'll be like, oh shit. Hey, Debbie girl, glad you're back. But like for me, one of my things, she's like, you don't, and it's cool, yet it's not cool. I literally, like, just take people's emotions and mirror it back to them. And she's like, you don't actually have emotions of your own. You just feel like a radio receiver, whatever is in the environment, and give it as feedback. I was like, it's really hard to make friends, though, because people don't like to hear the tune that they're on. So a lot of times they just change the channel because they don't like what I'm saying. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. Okay, so where I was going with... people will not talk to their ancestors their whole entire life and then call on that shady ancestor to go do a thing for them. I was like, if you don't... Yeah. Well, if you're anything like me, Crystal, my friends are all in the spiritual realm. Like, I have spirits drop in all the time to chit-chat and do all kinds of things. Yeah. Also, when you know, seek Christ while you still can... do they not... I'm just curious about all that, but... I'm like, I live on very spiritual land. I live on very active land. And out of all of the houses, this was, like I said, the least creepiest. The other ones were definitely giving off major ick vibes, which this one has its things, but it's better than all the other ones. One of the houses that I walked into... There was one house I walked in, we got into the kitchen, I was like getting spiritual messages and kind of got the ick, and then we walked in the laundry room, like we walked into the living room, and then we walked in the laundry room, and something was going on there, and I was like, I told the realtor, that was the first house that we walked in, I was like, whatever's in this house, like, I don't need to see anymore, we can get out of here. And then there was another house where in the closets there were little fingerprints. This actually brings up a lot of childhood triggering right here. There were fingerprints in the closet. And she's like, we can paint over the closet. I was like, no, you can't paint over like little, like multiple. I was like, you can't paint over that. So anyway, when I'm talking to people and they want to be conjuring, I was like, when was the last time you fed your ancestors? What type of spiritual protection do you have? Like, people be out here truly doing things in the spiritual realm unprotected and thinking that they can conjure big things. It was like, you don't conjure that. Like, don't do that. But then they, like I say, the spirit gets there, and then, like with me, right, I have a lot of people that send me spiritual attacks, like big demons, spiritual attacks. Maybe that's why that makes me funny with the seek Christ while you can. I'm like, I've had multiple different demons in my home, like Lucifer, and I've had Asmodeus multiple times. That was an interesting one, though, because I got sent Asmodeus. I felt it, saw it. Yeah. And then the next day, my brother showed, and my brother had been blocked from my lives. There are people that they, like I say, block all the time because I'm like, you're not meant to, you're in my lane. You were not. You were in the wrong zip code, area code. Get out. The next day, my brother showed up in my life to see if Asmodeus had done its thing. And Asmodeus being like lust demon, right? Greed. Lust, and it was from my brother because my brother likes gambling, he likes alcohol, he likes being a PDF file. And when it was sent to me the night, and then the next day my brother circled and there was like a moth outside my door, and it was like, yeah, no, that's, I know what that is. Yeah. So you can clear those. First off, okay, so eating bubbles. I'm going to talk about this for a second because people like to talk about shadow people. And if you think of that, that's your shadow. Like, that's your embodiment of you trying to get your attention or trying to steer you away from places. Like, I used to be super scared of shadow people when I was a kid. And now as I look back as an adult, those were all places that were very dangerous. Like my parents' bedroom closet, very dangerous place. That was always a place I was very scared of. Well, that's because they did and stored horrible things in that closet. But I always thought it was like a ghost. And now I look at it and go, no, that was like a guardian angel. That was a guardian angel. And that guardian angel wasn't trying to actually scare me. It was just trying to protect me. It was like my own psyche being like, oh, stay out of danger. So, with the spiritual realm stuff, people will say like, oh, I see a demon or I feel a demon. And it's really like it's their subconscious trying to get a hold of them somehow. It's like when you're in the middle of the night and you hear something go bump. Sometimes that's like your subconscious trying to confirm to you what you were thinking. I've done that before too, Debbie, a lot of times. So, was somebody, okay, so you said someone was in the apartment, Debbie, like currently, or that when that person approached you? Yeah, and that actually scares the hell out of people eating bubbles, because they think like, oh, how could you possibly know? No, the spiritual realm is a lot closer than everybody realizes. That's what makes me mad too. When people are like, I can't hear my ancestor. I'm like, your ancestor is sitting on your lap right now. If they could, you would be able to see that they would be drawing an air penis on your face because you're being annoying. I was so angry and yelling earlier. My ancestors were like, will you just shut up so we can talk? And I'm like, oh. I guess. That's okay. One more key point before I go anywhere. So that's okay. Some of those demons are your own children. And Debbie girl, you can grid your house. I know you're about to have your living situation change, but you can actually put dark stones in each of the rooms. You can clear it with your voice. So, cool. Nice. I actually saw a Passover bird the last 2 days. It makes me so sad. Okay, so Debbie, we're going to talk about clearing for a moment. Okay, I'm going to give you a simple command, and I've given it to you before, but let's go. Okay, I am a sovereign being. You have no right to be here. So, if you have an entity that's bothering you, because they have to listen to you, right? Because they don't have a body to truly mess around with, you have dominion in this physical space. So you can say, I am a sovereign being. You have no right to be here. You can say that under your breath, so that they can't really hear either. When you have intrusive thoughts, I like to say that over and over in my head as well. I am a sovereign being. You have no right to be here, because you can say it with your thoughts. It is just energy. Okay? You can also, I yell at them too when they're being really pesky. Like this is the irony. When those demons have come to me, they can't, like, they work for me. Like, they get sent to me. And then because they're part of my ancestral shit, they can annoy me, but they can't actually do shit. So, like, when Lucifer, like, they come in and they get scared because I start telling them to get out, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta go. You don't want to see what she did to the last one. And I've had that feedback on that. Yeah. And they can't do anything for you. And eating bubbles, if you identify as a shaman or as a realm walker or as a crossroads walker, you're going to have ranking in both the spiritual and the demon realm. Like, the demons actually help you. I always tell people, if you're on my vibe, you're probably more shadow walker or spiritual, like crossroads. You probably identify with Persephone and death. Yeah. Yep. They do, Debbie girl. And that's not a you thing. You just have to cast out. You can yell at them. Like I say, so when they come in and they get rowdy, I literally tell demons, like, get the fuck out. You're annoying me. Okay, so eating bubbles, you're a daughter of the underworld. Okay? So, and Debbie girl, that's, like I say, you can say I'm a sovereign being. Yeah. Same. Eating bubbles, like, so ironically, before the world told me what I could or couldn't be, I wanted to be a crime scene investigator or a homicide detective or an arson investigator. And I worked in trauma. I worked in medical. Like, medical doesn't bother me. There's some things that do bother me, but for the most part, like, death doesn't bother me. But yes, you can. Does Persephone not live in heaven? Yeah, no. Eating bubbles. Being a... Okay, I have a question. Eating bubbles. Are you a daughter of God? Right? Two things can be... Okay, so two things can be true at the same time. Who made the underworld? And TikTok, I know this is probably a little bit harder because you can't see this conversation. Okay, and then who made morticians? It's like when people... Okay, and I'm going to add on to this. So, yeah. God made demons. God made the devil. He made the underworld. So everybody that's over here saying, oh, that's evil. Well, it was made by a divine creation and in divine purpose. So how can you tell the creator that they messed up? All right? So when you think like, oh, I can't be that thing. No, that was a divinely created position. So, baby. Actually, okay, you know what I love? Yeah, I know. You know what I love to talk about? Okay, if you have Amazon, check out Good Omens. Second off, I love talking about how Lucifer... Here's an example of this. Because they say, like, Lucifer fell, right? If I were God, and I knew that I was sending warriors to do battle, I would send my biggest warrior to protect hell. Right? So when people say, oh, Lucifer fell, I was like, do you not think, like, if I were God, I wouldn't send my B squad to protect hell and my children and my husband and my whatever? I would send the best. So people being like, Lucifer's evil. And I was like, is he, or was he the main in command? Because I don't know if you know any Michaels. I know a bunch, and all of them are incompetent and jerks. So, and yes, Lucifer can be said for what he is, but at the same time, okay, and to play devil's advocate for one moment, I am a Libra, which is Lucifer. It's the morning star. And that's why I also laugh at people being like, Lucifer's the devil. I was like, no, he's the light bearer. He's the morning star. He brings the light after the dawn. Yep, and Chris, so my brother, who's a PDF file, is a Michael. I've had 80 million Michaels. I had a Michael try to red rummy, more than just my brother. Yeah. And that's the other part. When they say the devil made me do it, no, bitch, you did it. But you want to blame a scapegoat, and the devil is tired of that shit. Yeah. Yes. And I'm going to play on that too, because, like, I've had to play moral righteousness in the last week, and my kid had to call and confess something. Yeah. No, and that's why I laugh at it, Crystal. Totally freaking laugh at it. I'm like, if you are morally in the right, like you did the right thing on a humanity level, you're always going to be able to get away with me, right? Like when people be like, was it morally just? Yeah, it was. So play on, baby. Like, I know the rules made by man, especially men, say this, but on a moral scale, you're good. Yeah. I get it, Crystal. I get it. Yes, it is eating bubbles, and I know. Yes, she is. So I actually have 2 tuxedos. And what the suggestion was for Alcatraz's card, but I was like, it's for a card. Yeah. Sell it on Red Bubbles for you. I don't know what Red Bubbles... I know, Crystal, and men do energy harvest. Can I do like a digital print on something? Or, Yes, we'll have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about a lot on the other part. I don't know where else I was going. Yes, energy harvesting. Yes, they'll baby trap you. Don't do it. That's the other part. When you start feeling people energy trapping you, you gotta like cut that off. Your energy is more important than that. And then, yeah. I know. Eating bubbles. The suggestion that my kid had was to add tuna to her picture. And that's because, yeah, that is true. Because when we first adopted her, so the story, yes, Crystal, I get that too. Yeah, if your heart says you're wrong, then you're wrong. If it's just like you wouldn't, I always go by the measurement. If you wouldn't want it done to you, don't do it to me. And like Crystal had that conversation too. It's like we've had a lot of stuff done to us. It's like they couldn't handle it if they tried, right? But they were perfectly happy doing it to us. So don't do that. Anyway, so Alcatraz, I talk about Alcatraz all the time, and this is also why losing my house is disheartening. Alcatraz was the longest sitting shelter cat. She was practically feral. She had been kept in a kennel her whole entire life. The first month that we adopted her, the first 3 weeks, she was in a room alone, couldn't even touch her. And then within that 3 weeks, she was out in with the other cats. By the next week, I accidentally touched her. And that's how it always happens with her, is that don't let her fool you. She is a biter. She's a nipper. She's a scratcher. She is feral. So this, yes, she is sweet. And also, though, she was the cat that was feral. She did bite. She did scratch. She wouldn't let us near her. It took a full month before I touched her. I touched her by accident. And then she wouldn't not let me touch her. Yeah. And that's the other part. And that's like, I have 6 cats, which I know feels, and she does need the most love. And that's also what's so freaking special about her, is we were completely feral to now she has love, she has family, she has a colony. And I'm sad that that's gonna have to be up. Like, yes, I have 6 cats, but they're all bonded, and they all have hard backstories, and they all deserve such a beautiful life. And like, I have my older cat who has issues, and I'm afraid for him. Nice. I'm glad Mary Magdalene showed up. And then with her, I need like thousands of dollars like in the next week. Like, that's the problem. Like, I need so many, like, I need miracles like immediately, and that's my problem. And I'm losing faith in humanity. So yeah, I need like huge prayers. And like, yeah, I see and that's also like, I try not to ever ask for help. I try not to ever say I'm truly struggling. I try not to let it get to me. I'm tired of praying on my own, and I'm just tired. I'm tired of it happening. It's been years, and it's been too long. And I need help. I need help. I need prayers, especially right now, and energy. And like I say, I don't love crying. I'm just tired. Nice. Okay. Thank you. So, everybody's broke. That's the hard part. Like, I truly need a sugar daddy right now. So Eating Bubbles from my from my Twitch community has offered for every $5 spent on my Ko-Fi, you'll be given a free art digitally. I love art. I appreciate the help eating bubbles. Actually, I know this is gonna sound so silly. I'm like, I need $5 to pay for something right now, and I'm just like, I think I'm gonna pay for that, but I don't know how I'm gonna pay for it. But that also, like, if I can turn it around and make it work, then it'll be worth the $5. Yeah. Well, okay, and so I'm going to talk about this as well. It wasn't like I ever asked people for handouts. Like, I always came to people and paid for my shit. Not through PayPal. Can you do Cash App by chance, please? And I know, like, not beggars to be choosers. This is so stupid. I have a negative balance on my PayPal. I have 63 cents in my primary checking account. That I don't know. And if you can't, that's fine. I will figure it out. I need to decide on that and commit. And that's actually Siren, capital S, song, capital S, lover, capital L. Like, that I know this is gonna sound just I've actually started thinking about now selling feet pics and selling, like, I have tried so long not to sell my body, and now I'm at the point of having to sell my body in certain ways. Yeah. Let me see if this will work though. Hold on. Actually, hold on one second. Except for, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Eating bubbles, because, oh, shit, hold on. Comment. If you can tell how often I add comments in my... Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay. So eating bubbles, I've thought about it before. I also have had a lot of people accuse me of doing S work. And I've also had a lot of people actually put images and material out there of me without my consent. So that's also why in 2 years I've worked really hard not to do that, because, like I say, I've been accused of the worst. I've had people take private moments and turn around and sell it, and I've been trying not to do it that way, but I might have to, so eating bubbles, have you walked that path? Because I may have to talk to you about it, you've walked part of that path, and I do want to talk to you about that kind of, yeah, so, okay, I will be right back, give me one moment. I may or may not be done. I know I've been super emotional, and I do need to try and figure out how to start making some quick cash. I keep hoping, it's not true, but they tried to drag it into court with my kids. And they tried to drag it into court and accuse me of hiding money because they said I was that way. Yeah, that's the problem, because they've done everything under the sun to destroy my credibility and reputability as a mother. I know, Milo. It's about that time. Give me a minute, guys. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie Pilati. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see. Sorry, I didn't mean to dox on screen. Sorry. Let me... So that's the other part. Debbie, it shows up on my Twitch as getting a... Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Let me go check that really quick. Hey, Ken, how are you, man? Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ken, how are you, sir? What's happening? Oh, I forgot my water. Yeah, thank you, Debbie. I get it. It's, Baby, you and I could talk for hours about what's going on, I'm sure. Because it's the same shenanigans in your world are happening in my world. Let me check. I know I got a Ko-Fi donation. Thank you. I don't know why though. Thank you. I did it. Thank you. She, Crystal got me. Thank you. I don't know where. No, that makes sense. Okay. No, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than anything. And Debbie assisted as well, which that will hit my account later in this week, but it's going to help greatly when that hits. And I greatly appreciate. And then Eating Bubbles, I may have to take you up on that. And, okay, and I love this freaking community for one moment. So, Debbie girl, because you can't see Eating Bubbles, but let's talk about that experience. So, she said, Debbie, you angel, my godmother's named Debbie, my best friend in the world. She passed away in 2020 and became my spirit guide. So seeing your name made Eating Bubbles tear. So thank you guys. Whew. Thank you for the love in the community. I'm greatly appreciative and thank you. Like, oh man. And Eating Bubbles, definitely need to talk to your girl about some other adventurous ways, because I feel like I may need help that way. I actually need a lot of help with like my technical side of stuff, and I have this slight feeling that you're probably actually very proficient in that. Maybe you're not, but I get that feeling that that's like your jam, so I may need to talk to you about that, girl. Okay. Oh, let's see if anything else from the Roast Iconic deck. I know I'm all over the place. I haven't streamed all week. I've been, yeah. Cool. So I may actually, Angela, I may have to catch on a... Okay, so Crystal, we'll talk about that for a moment. And then, yes, Debbie girl, or not Debbie, sorry, Angela. It is Angela, right? Because I do feel like, yes, I need help with that side. I feel like you and I are going to end up in okay, thank you. And I know I said Debbie because I'm cross streams. I don't know where else I was going. I feel like you and I are going to be having a Discord chat. Crystal, so how many followers do you have on live? And if not, Crystal, what I can recommend to you, is I do live streams on Twitch as well, and when I can afford to, I actually multi-stream to not... So I stream here, I stream on TikTok, I stream on Twitch. Also, when my account's working right, I multi-stream. I have Rumble, Trovo, Facebook. I just can't afford the multi-streaming feature right now. But if you can't live stream on TikTok. Twitch is where I started live streaming, and I like that. It was a good learning place, especially newer in tarot. Yeah. Okay, fair. I actually need to get my YouTube subscribers up, so actually if you guys can help, once I get up to 50, so I'm at the point where I can't go live on YouTube yet, but if I can get up to 50 subscribers, I think I can go live on YouTube. I'm trying to build that as well. I'm trying to actually build, thank you. Great. Eating Bubbles, I know you're on Twitch. I know I need to go find you. Are you on YouTube as well, or when you come sub on me, I can come find you? Yeah. Yes. I need help with all of that, girl. On YouTube, I'm Siren Song Lover 5044. And yes, I need a link tree. I don't do the technical stuff yet. Okay. And Crystal, we'll get you there, babes. We'll get you there. So I have the Discord, but I definitely need, I need to talk to you. Like I say, Angela, I think in a call when we get off, because I've got a lot to talk to you about. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. And I get that, Crystal. And it is slow growth, but it's like once you start getting your feet under you, and I keep saying and I don't love that, yet that's kind of where I'm at, is that just getting the experience. It really is getting the experience of reading live. I'm almost tempted, though, in a way to start, because life is picking up and a lot of things are happening with my platforms, that I may end up just starting to sit down and do a read and then just drop it on YouTube as like just a straight read and not do live, because lives are slightly risky, especially on TikTok, because people like to do things and get you banned. Okay. Let me actually go. Yeah. Yes. And that's, like, this week I've had so many stinking things happen that I've just been drained. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing, live reads. I don't feel like doing anything. And like I said, I've already lost my electric, this week once, and I'm in danger of having it getting shut off again. Let's see what else.
Leo.
Is that you? Are you blonde, Crystal?
Also known as the Empress of Alchemy, and this is where we turn pain into power.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let me go subscribe there, and then...
My name's Crystal,
No.
also known as the Empress of Alchemy.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. I also have Hype C. Hype C is another one. Okay, so Crystal, if you want, message me. We can start a dialogue back and forth. If you have a Discord, we can also do Discord. Okay? So we can talk about that. If you go to Discord, my Discord is Siren Song Lover 5044, I believe. And then Angela, yes, we've definitely got some things to chat about. I'm gonna have to, when we get off, I'm gonna have to get off and just take a little bit to de-stress. And okay, Discord is another good one to have. I like Discord for personal reads. Crystal, so there's a lot we can talk back and forth on, Crystal, and then there's definitely a lot, like, when we go to Discord, if you go to Discord, that's where you can do, like, that's where I do video calls and, sometimes just audio calls. My shower is fucked up right now. I need to, but, okay. I'm gonna hop out, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. And Angela, I'm gonna catch up with you. I'm gonna catch up with you in a little bit. And then Crystal, I look forward to catching up with you. Debbie girl, Crystal, thank you for the love. Eating Bubbles, Angela, thank you for the love. I greatly appreciate. I'll catch up with you guys soon. All right, thank you. And I'll see you, like I say, Angela, I'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, girl. I'm all over the place, but I need to go chill out for a minute. Yeah. And I hadn't actually thought about making private chats or personal reads through this. I hadn't thought about all of that. And like I say, I'm not as strong. Like, I can read, I can talk all day long. It's the actual, like, technical side that it's like chalkboard, nails. Yeah. I've been trying really well, and actually I feel like this is, well, maybe not. I was gonna say, I feel like this may be more like a private conversation, but like, as far as reading, I didn't start reading for other people until March of last year. And I didn't actually start streaming until July of last year because of my ex-husband. Like, yeah. The problem is I've been hitting rock bottom so much, and I need miracles right now, and prayers and networks, and I need immense help. Like, that's an understatement of epic proportion. So, and I don't love the technical side. I really don't. Like I say, that's like torture for me. I need to be able to have somebody that can assist with that side, because that's a lot of where my drawback is, like, taking and pulling out material. Because I was talking to one guy at one point, and I was talking about how I had over, before Twitch changed their storage guidelines, I had like 300 hours worth of reads in it. But trying to sit through it and pull out the clips that I want and need and edit, it just... Ugh. Website stuff, ugh. Although in the professional world, it was the same. Actually, oh, yes. In the professional world, it was the same, though, because it was like, I could, like, and I know I keep saying like and again. I worked as a medical imager. I was an x-ray tech, and then I did mammography, and I could whip out an exam, a mammogram, in like 7 minutes, and that was moving fast. They would give us 15 minutes, although there were patients that didn't just take 7 minutes. And I could do the exams all day long. Forward and backward, I could pump them out. But if you had to put me in front of the computer to do the computer side of work, I made me angry, made me slow, made me pissed off. I was just like, no, I know it's important. It's just the part that I would rather someone else do. Okay, to be honest. All right, girl. Thank you for hanging with me. I greatly appreciate it. I do need to chat with you. It'll probably be just a little bit. So, like I say, I'm the opposite. I can speak on shit all day long. If you had something that you need, like public speaking, I can do it all day long. It's the technical, the computer side of it. It is sheer torture. And I've been looking for someone for over a year to help me with, like I say, the tech side of it, because I can do it. And let's actually back that up for a second. Because it's not that I can't do it, I just need to be shown how to do it. I'm like, see one, do one, teach one. If you can show me how to do it, I can typically learn it really fast and then teach someone else how to do it. But I also don't have really great ways of learning. And the last 2 years have been incredibly emotionally dysregulating. So it's been hard to learn anything because my emotions have been all over the place, which is our learning retention, which is how we, all of that. So people want to say, oh, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, I've been so emotionally dysregulated because of everything that's gone on. Trying to actually learn and retain anything is damn near impossible. So that's how I learned tarot, though. Was through watching. Like, my reads are through watching. My spiritual, everything has been self-taught is in the spiritual realm, which is both good and bad. Like, I've had my own, and that's the other part. People want to say, oh, well, what about your karma? What about your fuck around and find out? I'm like, I've learned karmic lessons. I've learned when not to fuck around. I've learned when not to get egotistical. I've learned my own shit. Like, people just think like, oh, you're not getting a result. You're not being reprimanded. I'm like, no, I am. Yeah. So love that Alcatraz comes back to challenge or to hang. Yeah. Yeah. I love that you're making a mouse tarot deck, because that is something that I feel is going to be, it's just going to set your soul on fire. All right, girl. I will talk to you in a little bit. Like I say, I need to eat something. I haven't eaten all day. I've been up since 5:30 this morning, and I started with screaming, like literal freaking screaming, for a long time, and then had to spend a long time around my ex-husband and his new wife, and I just... It doesn't. And it was a full moon in Scorpio, which is what he is. And there's still a lot of problems around emotions with that. And yeah, I've been trying to get endings on that for years, though. Like, that's part of it, is I've been trying to close out that chapter for years. And also it's hard because we do have children together, so it's not truly being able to close out that chapter and still loving him, but also being so mad at his behavior and my behavior and things that have gone down. Because I get mad at myself because I get pulled out of character. Like, I don't like being pulled out of character, and he does it every time. He and my kids both do it. And then it's just like, yeah. There's a lot that can be said there, though. And there's a lot that can be talked about. But alright, I'm going to go eat some food. I'm going to go try and... I'll be back in a little bit. I'll send you a message on Discord, because like I say, there's a lot I want to talk to you, but I also need to walk the dog, settle down, chill out for a minute. And then I do want to talk to you about technical side of stuff. So, alright. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you. Bye.